if you look at possession-wise, it was 46 to 42, not that far, but look at the attempts at goal. 11 for Canada, 5 for Morocco. But on target, 3 for Canada, 4 for Morocco, and for Morocco, out of the 4, 3 were goals. Quickly, Felix, then...
Yeah, that's precision. The Moroccans dominated as per what you can see right there. And the Canadians tried now, it's after they, conceded the first goal. That's when they tried to pump goals onto the Morocco goal. But what happened? Only 3 on target. That's a very low percentage. But look at the precision of the North Africans, the Atlas Lions right there. 5 attempts, 4 of them on target, 3 of them are goals, and that's the quality. I mean, they have. Okay, yes, they have lost Saibari to injury, early in this game right here, but they have others in place that will do the job. Okay. Especially, the person that I would really tell you that he did a very good job in this is Brahim Diaz.
Okay, clean game in the second half for Morocco. No yellow card because all the 4 yellow cards you see on the screen were actually in the first half.
Everybody now got a little bit worried and playing very cautiously, and I think those yellow cards also demoralized the Canadian side a bit for them to have to play now very carefully because they had 4 of them. If you look at the number of attempts altogether, the ones on target are half the number of attempts totally in the game, 16, and this is 7. So it's just slightly, at that halfway mark. It says that they were all trying, but look at the corners. It will tell you who was really trying to get onto the other side and being repulsed again, and the Canadian side forcing 11 corners. The Moroccans just wanted to play it from the center, and that is where they did. That's where the goals were coming from central penetration. They didn't want to take them onto the sides and have to take them from the set pieces. Let
me have the African perspective here from both the gentlemen here. African perspective, at least Morocco have qualified for the quarters.
They're showing that for them to get to the semi-finals in 2022, it wasn't a fluke. These results and their grinding in 2026 are showing that the World Cup in Qatar was no fluke at all. It's something that Morocco is cooking. They're cooking good football because they're the ones who play more football. Look at the passes, 409.
Morocco are waiting.
I'm also thinking the same, but I'm not thinking at them in terms of being African at this stage, but I'm thinking of them as having the pedigree to play in the last 8 and even in the last 4 and finally even in the last 2 of a World Cup. But that must also show in every half that they play, not just in the second half. It must also come in the first half. We know that Qatar held a world champion nicely, but at the finals there's that killer instinct on everybody, and I think if that comes in the first half and they show it also in the second half, then Morocco is well on their way to being again one of the big teams in the world that can play at the World Cup.